All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
You all are about to go on some missions that I can't tell you about here on the mess decks. You're in a very dangerous part of the world right now.
The U.S. Navy has a nuclear submarine that could destroy Russia and China in minutes.
The most deadly of the real-life kaiju prowling the oceans today are the 14 Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, which carry upwards of half of the United States nuclear arsenal on board. Each of the 170-meter-long vessels can carry 24 Trident II submarine-launched ballistic missiles, which can be fired from underwater to strike at targets more than 7,000 miles away. As a Trident II re-enters the atmosphere at speeds of up to Mach 24, it splits into up to 8 independent re-entry vehicles, each with a 100 or 475 kiloton nuclear warhead. A full salvo from an Ohio-class submarine, which can be launched in less than 1 minute, could unleash up to 192 nuclear warheads to wipe 24 cities off the map.
Alba, we're being set up by the Yanks to take the bullet, to cop it, from either China or Russia, just so America can remain the top dog.
Next generation submarine to be called SSN AUKUS. The biggest single investment in Australia's defence capability in all of our history.
What excuse could there be for such monstrous nation-destroying weaponry to be used?
One reason why it is so important to oppose, for example, the facile adoption of nuclear propulsion for Australian submarines is not only the strategic dangers, helping to contribute to an existential threat to China, not only the fact that it will encourage a nuclear industry in Australia. We have very little in the way of nuclear safeguard capacities domestically. But obviously it will open the door to other countries in East Asia and other parts of the world getting the same technology.
The build-up of Australia's offensive capabilities, particularly with the eventual nuclear power submarines, but also with things like the B-52s and eventually the more modern nuclear-capable bombers being based in Australia, is all part of the process of preparing Australia to be the protagonist on behalf of the United States in a war against China. In other words, if they cannot get Taiwan to be the proxy or the patsy, then it will be Australia.
As the wind blows, it's just 2 hours flight from Darwin to Alice Springs and another 27 kilometres drive to Pine Gap, the US military's top secret spy base.
Pine Gap has one very important role in the event of American nuclear war, which is to indicate what are potential targets for an American second strike on China.
Pine Gap is absolutely key to the command and control of United States forces in the Western Pacific and the Indian Ocean. And Pine Gap, in fact, covers most of the territory of Russia.
If Russia, for example, wanted to send a signal to the United States, using nuclear weapons as signalling sound is horrific and awful, but it's certainly part of the plan. And if it wanted to say to the United States, don't go any further, we are really serious about this. One way in which that could be done technically and possibly politically quite effectively from the Russian point of view wouldn't to be use a small or a single nuclear attack on a target that the Americans think is important. To do that, they wouldn't want to do something which is so important as to provoke a huge American attack. They certainly wouldn't want to target an American city. One of the most obvious signalling operations that's been considered by Australian nuclear planners, not that we've ever done anything about it, is that Pine Gap would be a very good signalling target with the virtue of destroying part of an American capability, nowhere near a major population centre, an American ally but not America. Any nuclear attack on Pine Gap, of course, would destroy the facility, but the fire and blast effects on Alice Springs would be horrific.
10 seconds to go. 9, 8. The mighty power of the atom is unleashed.
We must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. This family knows what to do, just as your own family should. They know that even a thin cloth helps protect them. Even a newspaper can save you from a bad burn. But the most important thing of all is to duck and cover yourself, especially where your clothes do not cover you.
If anything happens to start the nuclear ball rolling, A, it's going to be unstoppable, and B, it's going to be horrific every way round. The first responsibility of an Australian government is to think about the well-being of Australians.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. You all are about to go on some missions that I can't tell you about here on the mess decks. They're in a very dangerous part of the world right now.